Joining us now is the guy who's going to be broadcasting this weekend's Rams-Seahawks game, Mark Sanchez. Mark, good to see you.
Thank you for having me, Alex.
All right, so the Rams, not incredible expectations this year. What are you expecting?
Easy.
How do you break them
Easy.
down?
Take it easy on these guys. We haven't even gotten to week one yet.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, listen, at left tackle, Noteboom, we're solid. At center, Brian Allen, we're solid offensive line-wise. At right guard, Havenstein, we're solid. It's those two guard positions that are really going to potentially put some pressure on Matthew Stafford, and you're looking at a guy who makes up a huge percentage of their offense in Cooper Kupp. I think those are three question marks, right? It's Avila at left guard, who's a rookie out of TCU, and then at right guard, they're figuring out whether it's Ankrum, whether it's going to be Dotson, a new acquisition from the Steelers. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on their superstars and their superstars who are healthy, and Matt Stafford and Aaron Donald. But if anybody can come up with a game plan to figure this thing out, I like Raheem Morris and I like Sean McVay. They're going to have these guys in the right framework and give them at least an opportunity to succeed, not just this first game, but all season long.
Of course, 2 years ago, pretty much everything went right for the Rams. They end up as Super Bowl champions. Last year, pretty much everything went wrong for the Rams. Almost everybody on the team was injured. Let's see where things hash out this year. But they were a really good team at the start of last season. People forget that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they had a couple miscues early on, and then after that, it was, they got bitten by the injury bug, and that's so hard to overcome. And you can't predict that. Sure, they had lost some big-time names, whether it was Robert Woods or Odell Beckham Jr. or Leonard Floyd, guys like that. But, regardless, they still had a roster that was comparable to, the top 10 teams of the NFL. So they were right in the mix early on, and then once the injury bug hit, I think Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, and Cooper Kupp were all out for a substantial amount of time, and that's nearly impossible, to get by. So a lot of young guys got some great experience that they needed and will, bode well for their future, but you got to keep your core superstars healthy if you want a real opportunity to make a run.
So the Rams are facing off against the Seattle Seahawks, who are coached by Pete Carroll, who, of course, you played for at USC.
Correct.
You know a thing or two about him and the way he views the game. What should we expect from them?
Well, listen, I think if anybody's going to be mentally prepared for a game, it's a Seattle team coached by Coach Pete Carroll. He's one of the best in getting you in the correct mind frame and a positive mind frame. He's so infectious with his personality and his juice and his energy. You see him chomping the gum on the sidelines. You see him throwing those footballs in the off-season workouts in training camp, looking like he's, Dan Marino back there. I mean, this guy can still sling it, and he wants to prove that he can still sling it. He's always got something to prove while being the same lovable guy that he always is, and that's very unique and uncommon in this world we live in. So the guys are going to feed off of that. And then they got a heck of a team coming back who I believe, last year they really were ahead of where a lot of people had them towards the end of the season with all those rookies, 2 rookie tackles, a rookie corner who ends up going to the Pro Bowl, ties the record in Tariq Woolen for 6 interceptions in a season. I mean, you don't expect that out of a rookie that came from a late round pick, So they had a lot of things go right last year, and a lot of their guys got some really good experience, especially Geno Smith. So that's something you're going to have to look out for. And, the Rams are going to have a tough contest week 1. Week 2, we got their game week 2, so maybe we talk next week. But they got 2 divisional matchups early on that are going to really set the tone for this team.
And while I have you, as a USC guy who cheered for you so many times, I got to ask you about the USC Trojans. I know you were there at the game this past weekend, posting pictures of that. The team is looking really good. I mean, what do you think this is a national championship or bust kind of season?
Shoot, I don't want to put those kind of expectations on them, although, in this line of work, that's a little more fun than just saying, hey, we'll see how that goes. I think, we've only seen 2 contests. I think the first outing, really, in my opinion, the headlines for Sunday were written on Saturday at halftime of the first outing against San Jose State because they gave up a cheap touchdown right before halftime. So there's all this nervous energy in the building. Oh, it's only 21-14 against San Jose State. USC's no good. Well, I think that was a little premature. I think they showed a little more their true colors this second game. But once again, it was against Nevada, a weaker opponent, an opponent they were favored highly over. And okay, what did they do? They went out and took care of business the way they were supposed to. So I think this team is something special, and they're only continuing to get better. Another huge home matchup this week to start off 3-0 in the Coliseum. That'd be huge for this team, but they got the Stanford Cardinal coming in, and that's going to be a tough contest for them. So Caleb Williams looks lights out, and I think they're on pace to be hopefully right there in that conversation at the end, Pac-12 championship, and then potentially playoff.
And the energy feels like the days that you used to play there, right?
Oh, it's something else now. When you get in that Coliseum and the band, and you got the song girls going, you got the student section rocking, you got Will Ferrell coming back to campus. Now, he doesn't come around when you're losing games. You know what I mean? He wants to be around a winner. So that tells me something about this year's team.
All right, Mark Sanchez, thank you very much. Good luck on the call on Sunday, and fight on.
Fight on, man. Thank you.
The Rams and the Seahawks face off Sunday. Kickoff is 1:25 right here on Fox 11.